Hi guys. So I'm going to do tonight's read. I was going to do a comparison of like doing Trump and Biden in the debate and kind of go side by side, but I'm getting kind of the call to do it a little different. I did look a little bit at that angle and I've kind of got an idea. I expect Hunter Biden to be brought up again. I have a feeling that it's possible that Joe Biden could bring up Trump's kids. It's a possibility that may end up on the table because I did see a little bit of that. So we will see what's going on. But mainly what I wanted to kind of look at, I thought I would take a little bit different angle. And I would like to go after this debate, how is everything going to fare for Trump? That is the question I really want to ask. Like, where is this going to put him? There's a lot of people leaving him. There is a lot of Republicans that are starting to begin to slowly abandon him because they're trying to save their own butt. And they know supporting him, it could actually hurt them. And they're seeing the writing on the wall, but a little too late. You were supporting him all this time and everything. I think of someone, Lindsey Graham, who was completely insulted by him, or Ted Cruz, who Trump could be merciless on. And then, these people were sitting there still supporting him after all the abuse, but it seems like they are kind of straying away. But how is, after debate 2, how is everything going to look for Trump? That is the question I want to ask, and let's go ahead and begin. So we're going to go ahead and, that's the angle I wanted to take on this. But where is this going to lead him? Will he gain some people? Will he do well? Is he going to lose people? What does Spirit say? But I expect some mudslinging, of course, because that's what, that's the only weapon Trump knows well. As far as dealing with issues and showing that he has any kind of plan, he really has no plan. He's kind of going in and winging this, plans are not his thing. So we will have to kind of see, what he has to say. But that's one of the things, if you ever pay attention to these debates or any times he's at these rallies, he does not ever lay out any kind of definitive plan. He just makes a lot of promises and he does a lot of insults of other people. So that's his gimmick. I guess that's the best way I could say. That's his gimmick. But some people love it. Some people love it. There's a thing on Amazon Prime if you guys want to see it. I think it's called Trump, the Art of the Insult. And you can see a little bit how we got elected, was really leaning on that. I was watching last night and then I fell asleep. I was watching it and then I fell asleep. So I didn't see the whole thing. And that's okay. It's just like it was an exhausting thing of watching him just insult all his opponents. When he was debating in 2016 and how ferocious he was. And especially Jeb Bush. I mean, he really got... And notice the cruelty card sitting there at the bottom of the deck. That's exactly... He was so cruel to Jeb Bush. So look at that. Spirit's talking through the deck. That's exactly what he was. Okay, so let's see. How is this going to go for Trump? So come Friday, how's he feeling? So I do have the Chariot, the very first card. So I feel like when he comes out, after debate, he's going to be like touting success, regardless of what the polls say. When he goes to rallies and this and that, he's going to talk about how successful he was, and he's going to think he did a good job. So he's going to feel like he was very successful. Maybe he'll make a few good points and so forth. Maybe he'll do a few things. But for the most part, that is what he's going to do. I have a feeling at the debate he's going to talk about bringing in jobs. That's going to be a big thing. Now, both of them are going to be talking about bringing in jobs to the economy and so forth. But, of course, one of the things Biden can talk about is, but you've lost jobs. Look at all the jobs that were lost. That is going to be brought up. But a big thing in the debate is going to be jobs. This can be my symbol for like employment and so forth and news of opportunities. So that could be there. And for the most part with Trump, one of the things we have to understand is, all of this, when it comes to the rallies and everything, is he is craving the love and adoration, hence this Ace of Cups. This is what he wants from the American people. He wants the love and the adoration. And so whether he does well or bombs, I kind of get a feeling how it's going to go, because, of the way he behaves. But of course, he's still going to get support from his side. So, getting that love and adoration, I feel he's going to want that fed more. So just expect him to pick up rallies upon rallies. And yes, coronavirus, this has been my COVID card, will be brought up in the debate. Of course, this is going to be front and center because everything revolves around coronavirus. All of the issues, for the economy to get up, we got to take care of coronavirus. To save lives, we got to take care of coronavirus. So, the response to coronavirus on Trump's end, of course, is going to be brought up. And then looking to Biden for the solutions. I notice I talked about that love, okay? See, this is a big thing. I feel like after this debate, he's really going to want to get out there and get that love and adoration from his supporters, that he desperately needs it. But, they're still going to support him from the debate. That is one of the things we need to understand. Yes, he's losing people and so forth, but he is still gaining people, no matter what he does to his side and so forth. Look a little bit more. And yes, his card, he's either the king or the knight of swords. So, of course, in the debate, he's going to be very brutal and so forth. He has no filter. He just speaks his mind without thinking and so forth and rushing in. So be prepared, more of the same and so forth. And I have a feeling, news-wise, I have a feeling as the Princess of Swords is here, there may be some new information that comes to surface right before the debate. I kind of take note on that. So, because that can be some kind of information or news when I see that. So I'm wondering if something is going to be brought up. Very interesting. I've got the science card here. I've got the science card. So in the debate, be prepared for that. That's one of the things is Trump seems to be against science. So I have a feeling this is going to be brought up. And this is, and do you notice in the science card, it looks like there's a cross in the middle. Isn't that very interesting? Look at that. There's a cross in the middle there, isn't it? So this does seem to be almost, it's almost like a war on conservative Christians versus science. Is that not true? That is what is going on. And, the thing is, we've got to pay attention to science. Have we not learned back in the day? Because this is what happened, many, years ago, Copernicus and Galileo, trying to give the views of what is truth and so forth, and the church trying to attack them. So we're back in this, and just to think that this is happening in 2020. So expect some science to be brought up in this debate, but expect even after the debate more of the same. Now we're starting to attack Fauci. See, and if you notice something, when he talks about Fauci, like when he says Fauci and those idiots, he's very careful not to call Fauci an idiot himself. He will try to put him down because he wants people to listen to him more than Fauci. There is a little bit of a jealousy there that Fauci gets a lot of attention and he is looked up to and he is listened to. But he tries to step just a notch down without talking about Fauci being necessarily a bad person himself. But he will say things like, I'd save more lives. If I would have listened to Fauci, more people would be dead and things like that. He does things like that, but then he'll say, but he's a nice guy. And I feel like the reason why he does this is Fauci never completely goes against Trump in any speakings. He tries to be very careful with that. And I feel like Fauci knows how to talk to Trump because he doesn't want to start a war with him. But he still is a man of science. Okay, and science still rules. And he will never, and that's one thing Fauci does not back down on, is back down on science. Now, as for people who've been following me, the Queen of Cups. Remember, this was my mystery woman. Later, it was revealed this was Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And then we saw manifested her passing and so forth. So, the Supreme Court, I feel this is representing the issue of Amy Coney Barrett going to the Supreme Court, filling this seat, not listening to Ruth Bader Ginsburg's wishes. That is going to be brought up in the debate. That is a sore spot with many because the Republicans showed to be real hypocrites by bringing this woman in here and now when they wouldn't let Obama do it during an election year a long time ago. I mean, just weeks before an election, they're trying to rush this seat. And this is really been a sore spot for a lot of people. So expect that to be in the debate and more of that. And Trump, I believe, will be questioned on that. And of course, is going to be like, hey, it's my, I'm in office. I can fill the seat, this, that, but expect him to be put to task for that as well. And then, of course, Ace of Pentacles has been my symbol for the economy. And it's also especially about a new beginning. So getting the economy going, that is going to be an issue in the debate and so forth. Will Trump be able to sell a plan, though? Probably not. Now, one of the biggest issues, as you can see, the Two of Swords is peace. And I feel the majority of Americans, and there's a few exceptions, of course, but do want peace. So this is one of the things to talk about in the debate and so forth. And I feel like this is an area where Trump, I really feel the man does not want peace because, if there is discord and everything, that is especially, when he has an advantage of getting elected. But, I feel like the majority of Americans do want peace and so forth. And, they just want things to become stable. I just want to go back to work. I just want to plan to get this COVID down. That's especially what they're looking at. Now, I've got the success card, so expect in the debate, Trump is going to talk about his successes and so forth, and he's going to inflate what some of those are. This is what he does. He doesn't own, when it comes to things that have gone wrong during 2020 and so forth, he never takes responsibility, and he doesn't address the bad, and okay, these are bad and what I could do to change it. He's more, well, look at, I accomplished this and this and this. So expect more of that in the debates and so forth. But, I almost feel like he really believes he is a successful person. And let me look at that one. We're almost towards the end here and so forth. So my end cards are going to be the Emperor and also the Ace of Swords. So the Emperor to me is not just about necessarily Trump, but is especially about, this is, about like kind of sovereign rule and so forth. That is what they're, the whole government, the whole GOP is just trying to rule everything and so forth and have everything, on a kind of a law and order kind of government. And I feel like as this is their goal and so forth, and notice the sword, law and order and so forth, this is what the American people kind of got to look at. Do they want to live under that kind of a government and that kind of rule? And that is the major challenge with what is going on. And so I feel like overall, when I kind of look at this, there is definitely a lot of need by Trump. If I got into his emotion, got into his head, that he needs that love and adoration. This is so incredibly important to him, to be liked and so forth. And, but then of course, if people go against him, he can be very brutal with the sword, and he will cut them down, that they're the enemy. He's very brutal on that. But there is definitely at the core of this ego, this narcissistic ego. He has to have that love and adoration. And that's what I kind of see there with the Ace of Cups and the love card. This is really his core. Now, is some of you are kind of wondering, if he loses, will he really leave the country? Because I do have a card here. I do have the Eight of Cups, which just popped up. And that card is about detaching, cutting your losses, and walking away and going on a journey. So I kind of look at that for you guys who are wondering, when he's talked about maybe I should leave the country if I lose, that is a possibility. That's actually no joke. I don't think he's joking on that. I feel like he may possibly leave the country. Um, because that is especially about, okay, detach, cut losses. I invested, and that's especially what a candidate does, right? They invest so much, all these years of trying to get elected, their money, their time, all these rallies, this massive investment, because that's especially what it is with the Eight of Cups. And then you kind of sit there, it's like, I can do no more. I'm at a loss here. It's time to walk away. So, you know what? Do not be surprised. And a lot of us tarot readers are current events readers. If you guys want to watch some other people and so forth, do believe he's going to lose. But I don't think he's going to go easy. I don't think he's going to go easy. That is one of the things about it. But I have a feeling that the comments about maybe leaving the country and so forth, that is a possibility, because I looked at that card and that's the first thing I thought of, is like, oh, he may actually walk away and so forth. And you know what, as I drew that, I drew the defeat card. And I'm telling you, I keep seeing that when I'm reading Trump, that he's going to lose. I drew the defeat card. So yeah, so if, for what he says, if you guys are curious, for him leaving the country, I don't think he's joking. I don't think he's joking, because I think he's afraid of the charges that would be put on him after he loses the presidency. But he's got that defeat card again. So I feel he's also defeat, as far as the debate. I really kind of look at that. A lot of science is going to be brought up. Definitely the Supreme Court and coronavirus. And I'm wondering if they're ever going to talk about immigration. Will they even talk about it? See, that's the thing. One of the things I have noticed is they haven't really talked about immigration. So let's see if that possibly comes up, because somebody needs to bring up that topic. That's a huge one. The kids in cages. I was just looking on the news, and there's 545 children. They don't know where their parents are. That's enormous. This is just, a miscarriage of justice and everything that is going on. So I'm hoping that'll be brought up. But that part, to be honest, I'm not sure if it'll be brought up. But watch the debate. It'll be interesting. But expect after this debate, I feel like he's really going to want to get out there and just get that love and adoration. I feel like he's going to pick up the rallies, especially getting real close to the election, and just try to get all that, he just loves that attention. He loves it.